Hi, I'm from Instructure, where we're working hard every day to make learning personal. That shouldn't be an abstract concept. At its core, it's why we really chose to become educators, isn't it? But the idea that a software company can help to strengthen the human connection between a teacher and a student is usually met with a touch of skepticism, because most of the software that you buy treats students as data points and tries to automate the content or strategies that students engage with on their learning journey. Well, I'm here to show you that it can and it should be different. In fact, that's why we built Canvas, which can be used with every learner in your organization, from pre-kindergartners to your adult learners engaged in professional development or training. We formally launched Canvas in 2011, and K-12 users have been a part of our family from the very beginning. From those humble beginnings, we've grown into the numbers that you see presented here. You can think of a learning management system in a sort of monolithic term, but I like to break it down into its component parts. First, learning centers on students and what we can do to help engage them. Management really ties into teachers and how we can help them manage content and interactions with an eye toward efficiency. And the system piece connects to the larger organization and ways to leverage powerful tools to ensure equity of access and experiences across the board while helping to deliver on your systemic goals. So let's begin with the end in mind. Canvas is at its heart designed to be used by students. Whether those students are in pre-K, high school, college, or in a retirement home, it's of primary importance that we provide a platform that is tailored to them first, putting the resources they need most right where they can easily find them. What we've found is that learners of all ages want these 5 questions answered. We call them the fundamental 5. And if a learning management system is designed not to simply answer these questions, but architected with these in mind, the student's experience is one of connection and support throughout their learning journey. First, what am I supposed to do? One of the first things a student notices is that Canvas calls out their upcoming assignments on their dashboard and course homepages. And on their assignment pages, you have an opportunity to clearly delineate instructions and provide supplemental links, files, or videos all in one place. Additionally, you can attach a rubric to an assignment to further clarify expectations for success. And even better, this rubric becomes clickable for the teacher when it is time to grade student submissions. Next, when is it due? The to-do list that I mentioned earlier also includes dates to help keep students on track. And of course, we have a calendar built in that allows students to view all of their assignments across courses and preview them with just a click. A big concept of frameworks like universal design or social emotional learning asks students to answer, how do I show you what I know? Canvas is designed to give them options where appropriate. In this example, the teacher has opted to leave all possibilities available. That means that a student could choose to respond with a typical file upload, leverage our simple text entry box or media recorder, attach files from their Google or OneDrive, or even submit an external URL from a blog post they wrote or an external presentation tool, all while being held to the same standards set out in the rubric. Of course, the teacher can disable any of these if the assignment doesn't align with having so many options. On the teacher's side, all of these submission types can be rendered in our SpeedGrader. Here's an example of a file upload. Here's an example of an external URL. Notice how it renders right in Canvas, just like the document before. No need to exit the platform to view student work. Here's an example of a media recording. Perfect for younger students to turn in a fluency check, or for older students in a course that has a performative aspect, like debate, music, or world languages. And here's an example of integrating with a cloud document. We can even render them right inside of Canvas. As I mentioned earlier, all of these can be graded by clicking on the rubric we shared with the students from the start. Whether a student has done well or struggled on an assignment, they often want to know, what more can I learn? Canvas gives teachers the ability to record themselves providing specific feedback, or simply to add their comments to help guide students on a subsequent attempt for enrichment purposes. This question certainly came up a lot when I was a classroom teacher. Where can I find help? First, Canvas is organized and predictable, so students are often able to return to their course to find the information that they need. Lots of teachers leverage course-wide discussion boards as a place for students to get help from their peers. And of course, we have a built-in messaging system that allows students to contact teachers for assistance as long as they are enrolled in the same class together. Beyond the student and teacher experience, we think that there are things that organizations should be really keyed in on when choosing a learning management system. This is an image of the beginning of our SOC 2 report, which is an independent audit of the design and implementation of our security, availability, processing integrity, confidentiality, and privacy systems. We freely share the results of this audit every year. You might not be concerned with the details that are contained in this report, but you should absolutely care that we put ourselves through this, and you should hold every software company that you do business with to this exceedingly rigorous standard. One way that we can manage security is by providing users with just the right permissions for their needs. You can create course and account roles and define permissions with a ton of granularity in Canvas. Similarly, we are committed to producing software that is accessible for all of your students, including those who may need assistive devices to engage with the platform. And while that's simply the right thing to do, it also means that you won't be subjected to lawsuits for procuring inaccessible software. This is a snapshot of our Voluntary Product Accessibility Template, or VPAT for short. Again, this is an audit by a third-party organization to ensure that we are conformant with industry accessibility standards. But what it really means is that your students who need these supports the most will have them, guaranteed. And while Canvas is built to accessibility standards, we also understand that what gets placed in Canvas needs to be accessible as well. So we have built in an accessibility checker that allows students to check their work and make any edits necessary to ensure conformance. While we can see some of our security and accessibility features, reliability is one that is harder to demonstrate. People can come in and tell you that their systems achieve high uptime rates, but the reality of the current pandemic has found a way to separate the wheat from the chaff in a very public way. We've seen millions of new users logging on concurrently every day. And not just logging on, but actually engaging with assignments, discussions, and quizzes to ensure that their learning didn't stop just because schools closed. And students and teachers naturally found their way to our highly rated mobile apps as a way to access their content anytime, anywhere. And while our competitors publicly struggled with outages or needing to turn off core parts of their services to remain mildly functional, we've maintained 99.9% uptime with no loss of functionality, because when you need your LMS, it should be there for you.